Alright, welcome back to my video with another tutorial on the next topic on the basic multimedia and web technology subject CFT 1063. Alright, so if we take a look on the schedule for your courses, for your course, which is basic multimedia and web technology here, it shows that for this week you have to learn about what we call is a graphic, one of the element in multimedia, graphics or images. So I suppose that you have learned about it during the lecture class. So today in this tutorial class I will show you on how you can create a basic graphic with uh, tools uh, with free tools that available uh, in the web. Alright, so without further ado, let's jump to it. Alright, so but first I have to you have to understand that um, in graphics for multimedia we have two different type of graphic, which is the first one we call it as a raster and the second one is vector. Okay, raster and vector, I believe that you have been well explained about it in the lecture class, during the lecture class. So let me open the lecture note for you. CFD, okay, this is the link for your lecture note, CFD 1063. You can read it yourself here. Alright, so let's take a look. So we have to week 3, week 4 element of multimedia graphics. Okay, let's see. So I'm not going to explain little further or repeat the process for you because I believe you have been well explained in the lecture class, but I just want to like recap a bit about it. The first one is a type of graphic. We have raster and vector. Okay, raster and vector. So I just want you to understand about it. So basically, okay, let me just zoom a bit. Okay, basically, the one thing that you should know is a raster graphic is made of pixel. You can see here, it's made of pixel. So we raster image are made of pixel. So if you see image in a website or in your phone, for example, they are made of pixel, small square that contain colors that are that arrange side by side to make that contribute to the images that you see. For example, the flower over here. You can zoom. This is made of multiple square pixels. The more the pixels, the the more sharp for these images, and also the bigger the size of the file for the images. Okay, so that is what you should understand. So vector, on the other hand, is a graphic made by mathematical calculation from one point to another that form lines and shapes, meaning that it is created by an algorithm or mathematical calculation that always generate the graphic. If you zoom into a vector graphic, every time you zoom in or zoom out, the mathematical calculation will adapt to your view, and no matter how detailed you zoom in, you can always see that the images still remain the same and still sharp. You see over here? So it doesn't show any pixel compared to the raster graphic. Alright, so alright, so the file format for the raster graphic is like JPEG, JPG, bitmap, PNG, TIFF, uh, PSD, and GIF. Okay. So as for vector, the format is EPS, PDF, AI, CRD, and SVG. Okay. But sometimes you may wonder that you did some graphic using AI or a short form for Illustrator, and then once you've done with the doing the you want to make a logo for example, then from the logo, once you've done with the logo, you will uh, export it to become another format. So you may normally you will export it to a JPEG format. JPEG format because it's a most common format file that can be read by other computer or most computer in the world. So the question is, does it remain a vector or does it become a raster graphic? What do you think? So in this case, the vector graphic that you have created have become a raster. Although it 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 was a vector graphic during the creation process, but the output of the graphic has made it become a raster, because once you export it as a JPEG in JPEG, so it will automatically become a raster because it will generate and made by a pixel. So if you want it to remain as a vector, you have to use a format that compatible for vector. For example, you made it remain as AI, the working file for the vector itself. But the problem is it can only be opened using AI software. Illustrator, AI stand for Illustrator. Or you can export it as a universal file format for vector, which is SVG, and it can be opened. And it needs to open the vector file, you have to use a vector software or vector compatible application. All right. Okay, so that explains about the difference between vector and raster. All right. So today, now I would like to introduce to you some of the application or tools that you can use in order to create a graphic for your multimedia use. In this case, you might want to use it on your website or even on your social media posts for your activity, university activity. You want to make a poster, for example, or you might want to make a wallpaper for your handphone, for your computer, and so on and so on. All right. So there are multiple tools that you can use, which is you don't have to download. You don't have to install the software in your computer. You just can use it via using the browser. We call it a web tools. So we have a few examples. The most common one that I normally use, and I also will want to introduce it to you today, is Canva. So you just type in canva.com, and it will bring you to a Canva website. Alright, so this is Canva. Okay, if you don't have an account, you can create one. You just create a free account first, because the free account also allow you uh, a few many features still can be accessible using a free account. But of course, if you think that you want to use some of the features that are available on the Canva, you have to subscribe to their paid package lah. Alright, so the another one also you can use is Adobe Express, or formerly known as Adobe Spark. Adobe Express. Just type in Adobe Express. It's express.adobe.com/sp. It's formerly known as a Spark, Adobe Spark, and now it's called Adobe Express. Okay, so it's pretty much like Canva. Apart from images, you can also edit videos. But since as for today's class, we just gonna focus on the images. All right. You also can edit videos, and also there are some features that can only be accessible if you subscribe to their premium package lah, which is paid package. Okay, so let's get back to Canva. So you can have a look. I don't want you to restrict it to one tools, but since we are limited in time, so we have to focus on. I just have to pick one tools to introduce it to you. Alright, so it is pretty much the same between these two tools, Canva and Adobe Express. Alright, so let's go to Canva and see what we can do in Canva.